What if cows were inspired by cookies? Or donuts? Let's see if we can draw that for today. So I recently drew this cookie cow and I kind of wanted to do more because I love food and I wanted to draw cute cows, so that's what we're gonna do today. Plus we might do not just cookie cows, so let's dive into it. Hey guys, if you're new here, hello, hi, my name is karo.lineart here on YouTube, or just Karo or Carolina, but yeah, today I decided to film a little bit differently, but no worries, we will talk about this whole thingy in a little bit, but right now let's just focus on the cows. So I wanted to draw 4 cows, but once I sketched the first one, I realized I kinda only have space for 3 of them, so let's just think that we do have the 4 cows, but it's just the 4th cow is the one you already saw kinda in the intro. So yeah, on this page we will only have 3 cows, but you know, they're still cute. We will have fun with just the 3 of them. Cows are honestly super cute and I love their curious nature, so I was kind of curious if I can make them cute with adding these cookie or donut elements. And also my goal today is to perhaps, after we're done, make it into a sticker sheet. I won't film that, but hopefully I can have stickers or sticker sheet. Basically what I want is for them to look cute and to be a drawing that I like, and hopefully we can get there. So right now I'm just drawing cows. I'm basically sketching out the whole shape so that I can figure out best where to put it. For the first cow, I guess I didn't really think about where to place it. I just drew it standing there, and then from that I decided how the other ones should look like. So I saw that there is a perfect spot for this cow that is laying down and kind of sleeping, so I sketched it out very loosely. I had some troubles with the ears because I feel like I was drawing them a bit too wonky looking, or maybe too big, so I had to redo that, but everything else for this cow I think went okay. But the whole thing for me right now is to figure out the nice medium where the cow looks super cute but also isn't too forced, like it's not too stylized. I still want it to look kinda semi-realistic. And for the third cow, I decided that I wanted the face to be a bit more fluffy, so then again I had to switch out how I drew the face, so it kinda gave me a little bit of trouble, and there I realized that it was too close to the other one for the pose that I wanted it to have, because then the legs would interfere too much and go behind a lot, and since I want them to be stickers, I don't want to lose legs, because then I would have to go digitally and draw them there again, so that's not what I wanted to do. For this cow as well, I kind of had troubles figuring out the face, but in the end we got there. Okay, so now we need to add details, and since I want the cow to be a cow looking thing and not go completely crazy, we will just add the details on top of the cow and not really change the shape of the cow. Okay, so this first cow I wanted to keep kind of pretty similar to the one I already drew before all of these cows, so it's still a regular chocolate chip cookie, just I guess mixed with more chocolate. And the only thing I wanted to change is that the chocolate parts of the cookie are a bit more chocolate brown, because the other one has a tiny bit of not chalkiness, but it's less saturated. I guess that's what I'm trying to think of here. But yeah, so instead of whatever I used before on the previous cow, I decided to switch out to this really nice brown reddish color here, and I think it worked out. I do like the colors on this one more. And while I was painting, I also added some other things to it. For example, sure, I have the lines for the places that have the colors changing, but then I decided that the front leg looked a bit too not detailed. I don't know how to explain it, but I added the little blob there so that we have a little bit more interest on it. So lucky for me, I had a cookie, or lots of cookies actually, but now I have none. I ate all of them. But anyways, lucky for me, I had a reference in front of me, so I could really study it from every angle that I wanted to. But I was kinda looking mostly at the top of it, so the top of the cookie. You know, if you imagine a cookie, you will imagine it just all round and not in an angle, right? So I was mostly looking at that part and trying to figure out how I can implement it on this cow. And what I noticed is that the cookie has a lot of texture going on. So I tried to look at the parts where the colors would change. So it's kind of a little bit different. So I added a little border whenever the colors would switch from the brown to the cream yellow color. I don't know how to say that one, but also of course it has all these gaps and all these crevices, I guess, that make it look like a cookie. So we obviously have to implement that, but the main thing that we need to remember is we can't just blast a lot of texture on the cow because it might become too noisy. And so we have to figure out what is the best way to implement all of those things, but not make it too hectic and make it look nice. So for example, my cookie had a lot of chocolate chips, and I realized if I add a lot of them, then it will be really weird looking, I guess. So if you add chocolate chips on the legs, it kind of would throw out this whole shape of the cow. So what I did is I just sprinkled the chocolate chips on the back, and we're focusing them more just there so that it doesn't get too wild and it still looks like a cookie, you know, if we place them there. I've been doing this new thing where whenever I think I'm done with the coloring part of the piece, I decide to go over it and line it with an acrylic marker. And this one is Ohuhu marker. I don't remember if it has a specific name to it, but I will definitely link it down below. So I'm going with this purple and then also with other colors, especially black. I don't know, I feel like I like to do that recently. I think I've been too stuck on my purple-ish pencil and it kinda made me stuck and not really progress in experimenting more. So now I'm doing this thing and adding line art a bit differently. So that's why I'm changing colors here and going with the yellow and blue, because I think it adds some extra pop of color, and I don't know, I just like the feeling it has. It makes the piece look more bright, more fun to look at. I don't know, let me know what you think. Okay, so now we're on the second cow, and this one isn't a cookie cow because I didn't want to just do that, even though, spoiler alert, the last one is also a cookie cow, but it is a little bit different than the first one. So, anyways, the second one is a donut cow. I don't know how we can make it sound cute. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you can figure out a name for a donut cow. Anyways, I decided that it will be a donut cow mainly because it is sleeping, it's in the sleepy position, so it kind of reminds me of a donut. I don't know why, but that was my thought process. And usually whenever you get a donut, you have the glaze part and the dough part. So for the dough part, I used the same color that I used for the cookie, the light cream-ish color, and then I just went over it. I tried to make the shadow kind of for the glaze, that the glaze makes the shadow, I guess, so that we know it's kind of a little bit separate from the body. I don't know how we would make that work in real life, but I guess this isn't real life and we're just experimenting. But yeah, so I was trying to make a tiny shadow. I realized that when I applied the first layer for the glaze, it was a bit too not saturated, too a weird-ish pink color. I don't know how to explain it better, so I had to go in with this brighter pink, and I kind of like it that we had this weird underlayer because I could focus more on the shape a little. And so when I went in with this other pink tone, I didn't apply it everywhere, I just applied it at the ends of the glaze, and then I realized that something is missing. So I looked at my donut reference that sadly also has passed away because I ate it. But I realized that, yeah, it's already saying in the words glazed, and glazed materials are a bit shiny, so I had to figure out how to implement that, and I decided that I will add this second or third layer at the bottom and make it not go fully at the end of where I have the line, so that we have this reflection going on. Okay, so why I mentioned about the rant and video making and why this video started a little bit differently at the start of the video is because I just wanted to kind of take a moment to talk about why I switched things up a bit with how I'm filming this video. Lately, I've been feeling like I lost the spark. Not for creating art, but just like the whole reason I started this channel in the first place. I wanted this to be a space where I can really share my thoughts, connect with you all, and show more of the person behind the art, and not just the finished pieces, but also the messy experimental process too. So I'm trying something new today, and I want these videos to feel more exciting and maybe more authentic, and not just for you but also for me too, because I feel like myself kind of gets lost in all of these talks and the art, and that I maybe hide behind the art too much sometimes, because I feel like myself, the authentic self, is a little bit too messy for some people to understand. But I guess there's only just one me, and that's the one that I want to share with you guys. Because what if for some reason you find me in real life and you're like, but that's not really her. It's not to say that I wasn't there before, it's just a more polished version of me that you've seen. And sometimes this messy part did come true, but I do want it to just be me fully and not really hide behind anything. So I just want this to be a place where we can share ideas, spark creativity, and hopefully inspire each other to invent something new. So today I'm drawing these sweet cookie donut cows. I also decided to change the angle that I'm filming from, because usually you see it from the top, and I don't know, for me, even though I guess you can see the whole picture, it's a little bit annoying. It sometimes feels like somebody's just looking at you, and I have this pressure that I have to do well, and also I can't get close enough to see all the details I want to do. Basically, my hand is a bit too far away from me to have this connection with my brain. So this is kind of why I switched the angle to this one, and I would love to know if it is okay, because you can, I think, see more, and especially I think my hand isn't too on the artwork and you can see where I'm doing the lines, and I think whenever I do it from the top I can't tell if it's in focus as well, so I feel like it's me hoping that everything looks okay while I'm drawing. So hopefully this angle is okay, and I would love to keep it. It kind of also brings me back to whenever I did more videos on Instagram, and I think I did this angle as well, because that's where you could put your phone, because I didn't really have the top angle then, so a little throwback time for my brain. And so we are on the last cow, and like before I started it off with the same color for the first and the second cookie, this cream beigey color. I still don't know, I should look what name it has on the marker, but anyways, I sometimes like to do this where I will use one or maybe two similar colors for the spread, so that it feels more cohesive and feels more together, that they bring it together more. So yeah, that's what I did, and I'm kind of trying to replicate whatever I did for the first cow, so the same things that I did, I just did here as well. Even though it's still a cookie cow, I wanted something different from the previous one, so I decided that the other color that we will be using, or I guess the taste, will be pink, and pink can be a strawberry, or in my case I would love a raspberry theme going on, so it's whatever you decide, either it's a raspberry or a strawberry cookie cow. But yeah, I just decided that, you know, I really like the color combo for the donut, and that it can work for a cookie theme as well. So that's kind of what I thought I could just indulge into. So here I'm just kind of mixing both the cookie chocolate one and the donut one in this one. A very fun cow to just paint and relax to, because I already did this cookie theme before, so it's easier to navigate, you know. If I'm changing stuff like the colors, then it's not as hard if I didn't know what to do, you know. It makes sense, I hope. But yeah, I really like the colors. I think it's a little bit refreshing, and I also decided that since we only have this pink color going on, that I will also include some little blue tints here and there for it to be a little bit more than the pink and the cream color. And of course, the last step is to go with the acrylic markers just to line some things, make some things pop a little bit more, and just figure out what parts I want more centered to. That's where I usually go with the black marker. I want them to be more bold. And also, yeah, I'm having fun with these markers and just making it all cute and kinda cozy. So we are at the end of the video and I will show you the final results just in a little bit. But yeah, I wanted to say big thanks to you for sticking around and watching the video. I really hope you liked it and I will see you next time. Bye!